What is special and inclusive education? Special education is an education for students with disabilities in consideration of their individual educational needs, which aims at full development of their capabilities and at their independence and social participation, as well as personal self-sufficiency and success in school and community than would be available if the student were only given access to a typical classroom education. Inclusive education is the right to education of children with disabilities in a regular classroom. It is the main modality to address the educational needs of children who suffer from different deficiencies.
Principles of special and inclusive education. Let's start with the principles of inclusive education. First up, we have recognize and embrace student diversity. Inclusivity means understanding the nature of the diversity of students within any cohort without viewing it as problematic, but rather as rich educational resource in itself. Next one, we have provide accessible and usable learning resources and environments. All teaching materials, learning activities, and learning spaces should be accessible and usable by all students so that no student is disadvantaged. Third one, we have design flexible learning experiences. An inclusive education rests on curriculum designed to enable students to gain knowledge and develop proficiency in multiple and flexible ways. Fourth, we have represent diversity in the curriculum. Learning resources and activities should reflect the diversity of the wider community. Fifth one, we have scaffold underpinning knowledge and skills. Learning activities and resources should scaffold students' development of necessary underpinning competences. Sixth, we have built a community of learners. All students should be welcomed and supported as part of a respectful, vibrant learning community. Next one, we have assess equitably. Inclusive assessment means creating assessment activities that allow students to show they can meet the necessary standards. Next, we have feedback effectively. Effective feedback offers constructive, personalized, specific, accurate, and criterion reference commentary on students' work. Last one, we have reflect and evaluate practice. Reflective practice helps teachers recognize where potential to exclude or disadvantage some students exist. Now let's proceed to the principles of special education. First up, we have zero reject. Schools must educate all children. Next, non-discriminatory identification and evaluation. Evaluate students fairly to reveal the strengths and weakness of the students despite the disability. And third, we have free appropriate public education, or the FAPE or FAPE. This stands for free appropriate public education. So the right of FAPE or the FAPE is a powerful legal right for kids with disabilities. Next, we have least restrictive environment, or also known as the LRE, is the requirement in federal law that students with disabilities receive their education to the maximum extent appropriate with non-disabled peers, and that special education students are not removed from regular classes unless even with supplemental aids and services. Next, we have due process safeguard. Is intended to ensure that children with learning disabilities and other types of disabilities receive a free, appropriate public education. And last, we have parents and students' participation, equal participation in decision-making process.
How does it benefit learners? Inclusive education gives learners classroom edification, making sure that the classroom setting is appropriate for all the learners to actively participate. Assistive devices. Assistive devices are used to help students with certain disability perform a particular task on their own comfort. Modified special teaching method. Teachers create changes in their way of teaching to provide students with disabilities an equal opportunity to learn and participate. Regular checkups, therapies, psychological services, and etc. Why is it important? Special education sets a wide range of services to students who are challenged with exceptional learning needs. This type of education provides efficient and specially designed instruction approach of teaching that help learners with disabilities to learn and flourish in a comfortable and least restrictive environment. Inclusive education values diversity, It entails giving the opportunity of learning for all types of children. It is established with quality recognized ways for the classrooms in preparation for children to carry through greater heights inside the community. Special, inclusive, and allow everyone to grow together, eliminating discriminatory actions for the benefit of the world.
How is it done in schools? Special and inclusive schools provide help and support for students who require extra attention and understanding in different aspects such as making friends, interacting with classmates and other children, behaving properly in schools, especially those with behavioral problems, since in school they can be taught and will receive help regarding with controlling emotional outbursts and managing their behavioral issues. Organization is also learned in helping them cope up with their difficulties in learning. Schools provide friendly learning environment for better learning setting and good ambience. The school also showed support through the following: peer-supported learning, student-led demonstration, access to academic curricular content, universal design for learning, and strategized teaching.